Troika is a brand consulting, creative design, and content group that holds the view that brands are a company's most valuable asset and that the most enduring brands forge strong emotional bonds with audiences and supporters. To assist brands in converting audiences into ardent fans, they adopt a fan-centric perspective that guides the way they think, create, and design. Their craft is a blend of art and strategic thinking to create a holistic and meaningful brand experience that builds highly engaged, loyal audiences. Using immersive live experiences, brand partnerships, PR, social media, and influencer marketing, Mission is a communications company that helps brands stand out by interacting with consumers from a cultural perspective.
Watching America Trends. I'm Mary Burt-Godwin, and we have, I think this is a fifth appearance for this next guest. He is one of our favorites. You know, our viewers at home, a lot of you are business owners, entrepreneurs, people trying to start a new business, and one of the keys of having a growing, successful business is customer service satisfaction. And we have a customer service expert, Shep Hyken. He is a chief amazement officer, and he is all about how helping entrepreneurs and business owners really make their customers happy. And as that commercial we saw, talk about ardent followers and people that want to keep coming back for more and more and more. So just like we have you, Shep, coming back more and more and more. Welcome back to America Trends.
Great to be back, Mary. Thanks for having me today.
We love having you, and there's always hot trending topics to talk to you about, because this is a matter of, you know, whether a business makes it or doesn't make it is how their customer service, from the whole pipeline, right, from beginning to end, as far as, you know, how is the interface of your business when you're buying a product on the website, right? How easy is it? All the way down to when you're getting the product in the mail, maybe, and or if there's a problem, how that gets addressed, right? I mean, it's a whole slew of things. So I want to talk to you about it all.
Okay. Well, basically what you're describing is the customer's journey, and whether or not it's an e-commerce situation like going on a website, looking for something, deciding to purchase it, getting confirmation that it's been purchased, been shipped, and finally arrives, and you open the box, or whether you're walking into a store, or maybe it's a B2B business to business, where you call a sales rep from a manufacturer and you want to do business. All of this is part of the journey. And what we suggest our clients do is take a look at every single interaction that customer has in that journey and determine, can it be better? Is it great the way it is? Do we need to improve it? Do we need to change it? Whatever. We need to make it better, easier, more convenient, frictionless. I can go on and on with the adjectives, but that's what we're trying to achieve. Frictionless
is a great descriptor that you use there, because I've heard that a lot in the past few years being in marketing, because I believe, you know, it's true when you go to a website and you can't find a description, or you can't find an easy purchase button, or, you know, even the size charts, if the sizing chart is not easy for me to access, that can create friction with me, and I just give up if I can't figure out what size to buy my kids, because most people are shopping online, you know, busy moms, busy anyone, that's where they want to do the shopping, right? So talk to me about how you address those topics with your clients. You know, do you sit down and say, okay, what are the potential points of friction here?
Right. Well, the first thing is to recognize that a website was built by a human to be used by a human. So there's a lot that happens in a website that you think, oh, we're going to create this interface, we're going to create this process. But at the end of the day, we need to make it simple. And again, we use that word frictionless and intuitive. And every single click that the customer has to make in order to complete their order, every field that the customer has to fill out in order to get their order complete, is an opportunity for that customer to say, you know what, it's just not worth doing anymore. Here's an interesting, I guess it's a case study, if you will. I put it in my book, The Convenience Revolution, which I'm proud to say may have been one of the very first books ever written about the frictionless or convenient experience as it applies to the overall experience. The Wall Street Journal wanted to get online subscribers, and they would ask for all kinds of information. They want to know your first name, your last name, where you're from, your address, et cetera, et cetera. But at the end of it all they needed, excuse me, was simply a name and an email address, and obviously they needed the payment method. But other than that, nothing else really mattered. And the more fields they put in, even give us your zip code, what they found was the more fields would cause a drop-off, or what is called cart abandonment, which is where the customer just leaves. So every way to minimize whatever input information, just whatever we can to make it easier and faster, it increases the likelihood the customer is going to finally finish the transaction. And ideally, they become a loyal customer because they love the interaction and the interface. Think about what Amazon's done. Probably the easiest website in the world to use. It's completely self-service. You can go on, shop, compare, price match, price hunt, everything.
Read reviews. I love you can read the reviews. Yeah.
All that contributes to the customer's confidence. And then the moment you push that buy button, the moment it's done, you receive an email, your order's been placed. A few hours later, your order's been shipped. Here's the tracking information. And then a day or two later, it shows you, you get an email with a picture of your item leaning against your door.
Right.
It's perfect. Then later on, you watch a video that's outside your door that has nothing to do with Amazon, watching some porch pirate come along and steal your merch. No, I'm just kidding.
I go to Nextdoor app for that to see all the neighborhood pilferers. So tell me about the name of that book again, because I know you have 8 books. Is that still accurate?
Yeah.
You're a New York Times and Wall Street Journal best-selling author. I forgot to say that in your intro because that's pretty impressive.
My mom would be proud of that. So
she is. I'm sure she is. Now tell me, so you have I'll Be Back, How to Get Customers to Come Back Again.
That's the most recent book.
Yes.
Yep. And I love the way you kind of said it, I'll be back. You threw in a little bit of Arnold Schwarzenegger accent in there, whether you wanted to or not.
I didn't do it full force. I should have done that a little bit more thoroughly. So tell me about the recent one you were just talking about, that, or not the recent book,
Convenience Revolution.
Yeah, Convenience Revolution, because that certainly is something that we are in, right? Everyone wants convenience. That is,
it used to be easy.
Used to be location, location, location. Now it's convenience, 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 right?
Yeah. So the easier you make it, the more likely they are to come back, because customers will pay more for convenience. They'll use that to trump all other competitive issues. Really, convenience makes you much more competitive. And we see it again and again. One of the case studies I had in my book, and by the way, the book came out just prior to the pandemic, and this is what's really cool. It was a car dealership, and I was looking to buy a car, and I stopped in a dealership that was about 10 miles from my home, not my regular dealership. And the reason I did that is they don't know me over there. I can look at the car and I can walk away and not feel guilty about not buying the car.
Yeah.
Right? So the salesman said, "Why wouldn't you buy a car from me?" I said, "Because you're 10 miles away." And he said, "Do you see a waiting room anywhere?" I looked around, I go, "No, I don't." He goes, "Well, we have one. It's very small. Hardly anybody ever uses it." I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "Whenever you need service for your car, we will come and drop a brand new loaner off. We'll drive around in this until your car's ready. Then we bring your car back. You never have to come in here again. As a matter of fact, the next time you want to buy a car, we'll even come to you. And if you know what car you want, we'll just bring it to you. You don't have to come in here anymore." I thought, wow, that's convenient. And by the way, my other dealership was less than a mile from my office, and I used to drop off my car and then walk to work because half the time they didn't have a loaner.
Right.
And that's just the way it was. And I thought, this is great. I'm going to do business with them. And for the simple idea that they delivered the car when I needed service, we call that delivery. That's the of the 6 convenience principles. That's one of them, delivery. I realized that's why I want to do business with them. And they separated themselves with that one idea. Then the pandemic came along, and you started to see car dealerships saying, "You don't have to come into our dealership. We'll come to you. It's easier and safer that way." Well, this dealership was obviously a little bit ahead of its time.
Yeah.
And if you think about even food delivery, like when we used to order meals, they used to deliver for free. And then the pandemic came along, and everybody, it just was an overabundance of need for delivery. And then they started charging for it. And guess what? Customers were happy to pay that extra fee to get their food delivered.
Absolutely.
So, makes price less relevant at the end of the day, which means, be easier, be more convenient, you become more competitive, price isn't as big of an issue, and ideally, you build a longer, loyal customer.
So all of those things are part of the customer service experience that you're kind of, it's like, gosh, there's so much to talk about. We do have to take a break in a minute here, Shep. Will you come back for another segment though?
I promise to be here.
Okay.
When you come back,
because I want to talk about these other issues that customer service, ways to help customer service, but also 5 ways to thank your customers, because I think that is really, really key.
I better look that up while we're on break.
Yeah, you have a break, so go look it up. Make sure you can answer the question. Yeah, you better, Shep. You're the expert. So everyone home, stick around. We've got more America Trends. You can find Shep Hyken, a customer service expert, at hyken.com. And you can find us at biztv.com and also on social media at America Trends TV on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We'll be right back.